Today is September 29th. It's the 273rd day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. Today is National Coffee Day for the following countries: New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, Sweden, the United States, Japan, Austria, Romania, Philippines, and Taiwan. So whether it's home brewed or from your favorite barista, enjoy your Java today if you live in any one of those countries. For the other 22 countries in the world that celebrate National Coffee Day, that will happen on different days, so you gotta just wait your turn. On this day in 1982, 12-year-old Mary Kellerman of suburban Chicago, Illinois, wakes up with a sore throat and a cold. Her parents give her an extra-strength Tylenol to ease her symptoms. By 7 a.m., Mary is dead. Later this same day, Adam Janis of Arlington Heights, Illinois, takes an extra-strength Tylenol capsule and dies. His brother Stanley and sister-in-law Teresa rush to his home to be with loved ones. Both have headaches. They take Tylenol from the same bottle their brother used earlier. Stanley dies this same day. Teresa dies 2 days later. A series of random deaths from cyanide-laced Tylenol has begun on this day in 1982. National panic ensues. Sabotage on the production line is the initial thought, but investigators rule this out upon learning that the tainted bottles come from different factories. Since the deaths occur only in the Chicago area, police consider other theories, mainly that the Tylenol bottles had been taken off store shelves, tainted with cyanide, then placed back onto the shelves for purchase. Tylenol manufacturer Johnson & Johnson issues warnings to hospitals and distributors. They halt the production and advertising of Tylenol and put out a nationwide recall a week later. 31 million bottles are estimated to be in circulation. Until now, Tylenol has been the leading over-the-counter drug and Johnson & Johnson's best-selling product. After the deaths, their market share plummets from 35% to 8%. But in less than a year, the company rebounds due to their prompt and aggressive response to the crisis. The media praises their efforts. The Washington Post states, quote, "Johnson & Johnson has effectively demonstrated how a major business ought to handle a disaster." The recall becomes a classic case study in business schools across the nation. Copycat crimes, however, begin to emerge. In the month that follows, the Food and Drug Administration documents more than 270 different incidents of product tampering. Pills are tainted with everything from rat poison to hydrochloric acid. On Halloween, parents discover sharp pins stuck into their children's candy corn and candy bars. The Tylenol deaths and Johnson & Johnson's response lead to a revolution in product safety standards. By November, the company has reintroduced the capsule in a new triple-sealed package. Eventually, they eliminate the capsule altogether in favor of the solid caplet. This inspires the pharmaceutical, food, and consumer product industries to also develop tamper-resistant packaging. Induction seals, improved quality standards, and other protective measures soon become industry standard. In 1983, Congress passes the Tylenol Bill, making product tampering a federal crime, punishable by life imprisonment and a fine of $100,000. In 1988, copycat poisoner Stella Nickel is sentenced to 2 90-year prison terms plus 3 10-year terms for additional product tampering charges in the tainted Excedrin deaths of her husband and another person. Investigators are no closer to solving the original 7 deaths in the 1982 Tylenol murders. In fact, no one is ever charged or convicted of this crime. A few suspects emerge. One in particular seems promising. James Lewis is investigated after sending an extortion letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million in exchange for stopping the murders, for which he claims responsibility. Authorities, unable to pin the actual murders on him, charge Lewis with extortion. He serves 13 years of a 20-year sentence and is released. In 2008, the FBI reopens their investigation into the crime and looks at Lewis again. But the Tylenol murders, which begin on this day in 1982, are still currently unresolved. France and Germany, 2 of the 12 founding member states comprising CERN, are the final countries to ratify the convention establishing the European Organization for Nuclear Research on this day in 1954. CERN, an acronym for Conseil Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire, is a provisional council established 3 years earlier in Paris at an intergovernment meeting of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, better known as UNESCO. The first resolution concerning the establishment of a European Council for Nuclear Research is adopted at this time. The goal of this provisional council is to build an international laboratory. This concept has been brewing since the end of World War II. European science needs a reboot. In response, a small group of visionary scientists imagine a European atomic physics lab that could unite European scientists, allowing them to share information and the growing costs associated with nuclear physics facilities. Ground is broken in a suburb of Geneva, Switzerland, for the future site of CERN. The Provisional Council dissolves, but the acronym CERN is retained for the lab even after CERN officially becomes the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Pure physics research at this time is devoted to understanding the inside of the atom. Thus, the initial research conducted at CERN focuses on studying the atomic nuclei. However, over the decades, human understanding of matter goes well beyond the nucleus. Today, CERN's main area of research is the study of the properties, relationships, and interactions of subatomic particles, or particle physics. CERN provides the particle accelerators and other infrastructure necessary for high-energy physics research, operating a network of 6 accelerators and a decelerator. Many CERN activities involve the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC. The LHC is the world's largest particle accelerator, colliding protons or lead ions at energies approaching the speed of light. Its tunnel is located 100 meters or 328 feet underground. The LHC generates vast quantities of data which is streamed to labs around the world for distributed processing. Now comprised of 22 member states, with Israel being the only non-European country granted full membership, over 2,500 staff members work there. CERN also hosts over 12,000 fellows, associates, apprentices, and visiting scientists and engineers from 608 universities and research facilities around the world. The need to communicate and share research worldwide among scientists and researchers leads to the advent of the World Wide Web. What begins as a CERN project named Inquire, initiated by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989 and Robert Caillou in 1990, develops into a major network hub for experimental data analysis within CERN. The first website is activated in 1991. In the following year, CERN announces that the World Wide Web is available free to everyone. CERN, ratified into existence as the European Organization for Nuclear Research on this day in 1954, provides 2 structures for public exploration: the Globe of Science and Innovation and the Microcosm Museum on Particle Physics and CERN History. They also provide daily tours to certain facilities such as the Synchrocyclotron, CERN's first particle accelerator, and the Superconducting Magnet Workshop. Check it out next time you're in Switzerland. There are 93 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. Today's episode, written by Elizabeth Schultz, #LizzieB. Born on this day in 1901, Italian physicist Enrico Fermi. He builds the world's first nuclear reactor at the University of Chicago under the bleachers at Stagg Field, and he wins a Nobel Prize for his work in physics. So if you're still listening, the more you know. Bling! Talk to you tomorrow.